Yes. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Rosera Menin. One perfect balance family. Yeah, we up and running officially. Welcome to another episode of Politically Incorrect. We had to start on a blitz. Don't mind the timing. Those who might be looking at it, we had to start on a blitz. I came back in later than I expected. I was out in the field doing some work with a very special situation that has grown on me to the point where I realize I am being affected by it. And by affected, I mean uh, much needs to be done. I was actually between minds if I could even come on and be open and direct. I don't even know if I had I wouldn't even say the drive because what I would have wanted to come on and say, I don't know if that would have went down right. So I had to just chant a little meditation according to my friend Musa. Had to find my little balance there for a second and realize, man, let me let me let me just stay committed because if not us, then who? If not now, then when? You know what I mean? Really, really. If not us, who? If not now, when? So welcome to Politically Incorrect. If you're now logging on, give thanks. Tonight we're going to touch a few things, just kind of go over some stuff, and I just going to speak on a different level. Just kind of let it flow right through. I want to thank those who took the time and the patience. Like I said, give thanks. I know some folks in England. Shout out to the brothers and the sisters up in Europe that logged on. It must be like 2 in the morning. I don't even know what time it is, but they faithfulness. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. So tonight is another special night, of course. Shabbat Shalom to all those Hebrew Israelites. The elder told me this evening, all the Jews are black. He said if they're not black, they're Jewish. I thought that was funny. But the elder was on the ends, and the elder, old veteran man, had a good long conversation and was grateful for the interaction. But Shabbat Shalom, and to the brothers and sisters of the faith. Also want to say Assalamu Alaikum, Namaste, Hotep, Ashe to the conscious community. And y'all already know Rastafari to the brethren and sisters on this eve. And to everybody else, man, love and light right through all my conscious beings, all those light beings, on a different level. Yeah, y'all know who y'all are, man. I see you, Wendell. Shabbat shalom to you too, brother. Phil, I see you. Shalom, Shabbat shalom to you too, man. All you on the rooftop. I wish I was down there all now, man. I'm telling you, just recharge, man. I mean, right now is just so much going on. Andre, I see you. Monica, I see you. Samuel, the L's in the building. Joyette. Well, good night to you too, sis. I like the name. I don't remember seeing that name before, though. But give thanks for coming on and letting yourself be known. Shout out to Brittany as well, without question. Aaron, I didn't see you, soldier. You don't know. I listen, I just realized something the other day. Shout out to Alex, by the way. Wherever he at, whether logged on or not. More energy to the brother. Tonight is a kind of I don't even know how to say it. I don't want to say it's solemn. I don't want to do that. I definitely don't want to do that. But I definitely want to change gears a bit, just a little bit, than what I had previously wanted to do. The sister that came on last week, if you remember the lady that came on and spoke about her husband, this was like last week. Uh, the situation with the injection X and how she was having problems and challenges, and well, I hate to even say this, and I really hate to have to even say this, but the sister that came on and talked about her husband and the amount of money she spent with the doctor saying Barbados, and they put her name on a list of people who had an adverse effect from the injection COVID vaccine. Call it what it is because it's already out. The COVID vaccine. Well, unfortunately, her husband passed away today. I think this morning. I found out this afternoon. I didn't get a chance to call her. I really wanted to call her. I'm not sure if she's watching right now. If she is, sis, I'll definitely give you a call. I'll probably pass and see you tomorrow. I am More strength to you and your family. More strength to you and your family. That's really all I could tell you. Because the truth is, I heard you. We heard your cries when you spoke about it, and unfortunately, that is how it. That's like I said, family. It's just been one of them days, man. There's so much. Sometimes I wonder sometimes how I even deal with it. You know, and it's always a lot of people inbox me and be telling me, "Yo, Manu, why you don't do this instead? Yo, why you don't say this instead? Why you don't this instead? Why you don't that? Why you don't this? Why you don't that? Why you don't this?" Just walk a mile in my shoes, man. That's all I be telling people, man. Just put them on for a minute. Perhaps you'll see why I make my decisions the way I make my decisions. And I know that most people may not even like my decisions. To some folks, I might be an angel. To some folks, I'm probably the devil. That's just how it go, man. But that sister right there came on and poured out her essence and shared. I felt her pain, even coming towards the end of the interview. And I felt it even more then. And I realized that. And then to hear this morning to hear that her husband passed away this morning. Let's just give her that energy, family. Send nothing but kinetic energy her way, to her and her family, and loving people, really loving people. I'm going to pull it up real quick here. I'm looking for it. But if y'all didn't see that episode of Politically Incorrect, go check it out. I think it was last week Wednesday. It could be wrong. I'll check it out and I'll give you it for sure. Or one of the admins could probably check it out and post it for me. But yeah, I don't even know, man. Like I don't even want to touch it because, like I said, what I wanted to come on and say earlier probably would not have sat well with people. It probably wouldn't have sat well. But one of the admins, if you can, tell a friend, family. Go tell a friend, tell a friend. This is how this message is getting out. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Now, Alex would always tell me, go say it, because a lot of people actually watch the platform now. A lot more people watch it now than before when we first started out. So, but to have hundreds of views and thousands of views in some cases and then not being shared, it means that people are not sure or bold enough. I understand a lot of people watch it, but don't want people to know they're watching it. I get it. But guess what, family? We can't take that position. We can't take that position, man. We got to put that work in. And it's that simple. It's that simple. So share it, share it, share it, share it, share it. Get the message out. We are doing our part. Do your part the same way. Like, share, and subscribe. A lot of folks say they're not seeing it. Sometimes they tell me that the post has been deleted. They can't find it. I go on, I find it. I send them the link. Then they find it, and it's like, okay. So we know that what we are doing is having an impact. We know that, and if we're having an impact, then this isn't the time to retreat. This is the time to keep hitting it, hitting it, hitting it, man. You know. Oh man, Lennox, I give thanks, brother. I give thanks. I mean, Alien is a very good friend. They both visited me, and yeah, I mean, yes, it is so painful. It is, it is, it is. I felt that. I felt it from this evening, like, but I was dealing with another situation, which I'm going to get into that as well. But I wanted to give her the strength up front, like from us, Kinetic Energy family, all from Politically Incorrect. You know what I mean? And I just sent that energy out. That's what we're doing right now, man. That's all we could do. Um, yeah, Monica. Yeah, Steve. Steve says say it. Well, Steve, I'm going to say, give me a few minutes within context. I'm just dealing with the sister and the elder first that passed away, man. We're gonna get into some stuff. You can believe that. You can believe that, man. You can believe that, Steve. Tonight we're gonna get into some stuff for real. For real. So, like I said, family, more strength to the family. I don't like the word condolences. I never did. Don't like the energy I feel when I say it, but more strength to you and your family, sis. Like more strength, love and light always. Stay firm, stay strong. And having said that, I just want to have a moment here. Just a moment, man. Yeah, just a moment. Just a moment. tell a friend, family.
Here I come again, Jaja. Before your presence we
Tell a
stand.
friend, family.
Lord, watch over our shoulders tonight and help us live our words tomorrow. Let's not forget where we're from. Father, show us the way to go. You said I must love and feed my enemies, and I'm gonna do it. You said I shouldn't hate a grudge, and I won't, not even for a minute. Let all the truth come from my lips and bless our souls. Lord, without you we can't make it. Lord, watch over our shoulders tonight and help us live our words tomorrow. Let's not forget where we're from, or show us the way to go. You're the wind beneath my wings, see me through all the things. You lifted me when I was down, now you have me standing on higher ground. Lord, watch over shoulders tonight and help us live our words tomorrow. Let's not forget where we're from, or show us the way to go. How excellent is thy name, deliver us from sin and shame. Out of the mountain, babe, and settle in you are ordained strength. Oh, Jack, I'm depending on you. Oh, for help I know. Oh, Jack, I'm depending on you. Oh, for help I know. You're the only way. God be different. With you I wanna stay. Please don't go away.
Yes. Yes, Lord, watch over all shoulders. Watch over us as a people, as a family, man. Watch over us. Sis Elaine, we love you, sis. We thank you for your courage. You're a beacon. I mean, a lot of people right now are so afraid to speak, and you came out and you spoke from your heart and told us what had happened to your husband as a result of taking that injection. And today, unfortunately, he has passed in transition. We want to thank you for being such a example, and I hope others who are going through the same situation find courage and strength through your testimony. And going from one to the next, family, Steve said he's going to sleep, so I won't wake him up in a second. Y'all may be aware that today newspaper advertised that the government industrial, well, the judge. Well, let me start at the beginning. Not really the beginning, but let me give you a little update into this thing. So you remember a few months back, well, a year ago, we had this whole GIS issue, and we talked about it and we discussed it. And yes, we know it was an issue. And they said they were going to do this and going to do that. And long story short, they didn't really do but so much. I mean, really and truly, there's a lot of rhetoric. Nevertheless, a few months ago, young ladies escaped again, and Wilfred came on and said what he had to say, and more rhetoric. So there was a case brought before the court to have the girls, especially the two that had escaped, released. Now the first magistrate did some hocus pocus, bogus story, and claimed that they didn't have any jurisdiction or whatever the case is. She didn't really, she didn't want to touch it. Maybe she's friends with somebody. She didn't want to touch it, and she kind of, didn't find that she had the authority to do anything. So it was appeal. And I got to shout out to Anya Lord, by the way, because although a lot of other people kept fighting her and telling her she was doing it the wrong way and this and that and this and third, she stuck with it and she appealed it. Now, the high court was like, well, wait a minute. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This isn't supposed to be in front of me. This is a matter that they should have resolved ever since. But if they can't resolve it, I'll resolve it. So in all fairness, send it back down and let them take another look at it. But give it to somebody else, not that same person, because clearly they don't know what they're doing and should be removed from the bench, as far as I am concerned, just because of this one, and probably will because of this one, it might happen. So the other fella now, and I don't recall his name, and I can't see this article print because it's actually too small, so then I'd be here trying to zoom in stuff. This is not working. It's not clear at all. It's very blurry. But anyhow, so the girls, JS girls ordered removed is what the new judge who looked at the same exact case that the last judge had to look at, that didn't know if they had jurisdiction or not, which again, If they don't know their job, how can you? I think all that judges' cases need to be reviewed, quite frankly, because they clearly don't know what they're doing. If you had a judge in front of that previous judge, and I don't remember her name, but you can go look it up, I would appeal and check that out if I was you. But anyhow, this guy right here felt like he didn't want to get caught up in the entanglement. He didn't want to get the blame because he probably watched Politically Incorrect, most likely, or he heard about it. He didn't want to get put on blast, hence the gag order last week. Like I said, I heard nothing from the court last week, not even in the paper. So you know there was a gag order in place. Nevertheless, today he's ruling because of yesterday's court session. The girls are ordered to be removed from the GIS effectively, basically, immediately. Now, I made a post and said removed is not released. Well, one of the young ladies out the two has been released. But the other one, now y'all remember that after they had escaped, they made an arrangement with the same Anya Lord again. Shout out to Anya, she's doing great work, and also Marsha. And they didn't honor the agreement, and they went back and forth, Black Rock back and forth, all this stuff. And then one of the young ladies who had escaped before escaped again. Y'all remember that? Well, yeah. It appears as though her situation is a bit more delicate. And to my understanding, she has to, at some point, do a little time in Black Rock for evaluation purposes. Now, this way it gets sticky. One of the things that was not revealed to the public before, and I'm going to reveal it tonight. And, Black Rock is on the spotlight at this point. The guy from Black Rock came and said, well, wait a minute, he already outs himself in the previous episode we did when she first escaped. Well, when she not first escaped, not second, when she escaped Black Rock for the third time. Now, what we don't know is that this same young lady was already in Black Rock prior to this incident early up in the year, and she escaped at that point. Didn't get too far because she wasn't familiar with the area and got apprehended. Okay, fine. A couple of days passed, and guess what? She actually made another attempt and got away. So this attempt now would have been the third episode of escaping from Black Rock. Now, we're not going to question Black Rock security because we know it's probably the best security, it's Black Rock after all. There's patients there who might be a bit dangerous to society. And of course, Black Rock is keeping a close eye on these individuals. But this young lady needs our help as a people. All of us as a people. And we cannot sentence her, according to the magistrate in this situation, to Black Rock for evaluation and not at least hold Black Rock accountable for the care, custody, and control, and not to agitate the situation or make it worse in an attempt to make it worse. If y'all get what I just said. Now, I'm not saying that some of the young ladies who get themselves, or the young men who find themselves at the GIS, may not need help. I am sure that they're there for a reason. And if we evaluate these reasons, more often than not, it could be linked to some form of abuse in some form or fashion. In some form or fashion. Not point any fingers. But we need to get them the help they need. And not just simply assign them to some institution that we suspect has the best interest for the child, when the truth is we really don't even know what the scheduled program will be. I think we have turned a blind eye for so long that people just generally assume that it's the best thing because that's what's always there. But the truth is, it is not and has not always been the best thing. Look at the guy from the investigation at Dodds. The lead investigator for the inquiry at Dodds resigned. As a matter of fact, speaking of inquiry, the inquiry into the GIS with Wilfred was past due 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. He has not even come out to say, well, look, I didn't get through in time. It was raining. The whole staff caught COVID. He said nothing, as usual. Even when he's talking, he's saying nothing, as usual. And this is a clear indication of such, because you really can't touch the GIS situation without unraveling the truth of GIS. And the truth is, yes, I know people who have gone JS who have come out and have done miraculous and amazing things with their lives. But it may not necessarily be because of GIS, you know, and there are a whole lot more who went through JS who didn't do so well. I know a lot of people went BlackRock and came out that had those injections that they give the children to sedate them 1, 2, 3 times, then the medication. That didn't do too well either. Every situation is going to be different and it's going to be unique. There is no one approach to fixing our young people, and simply sticking them in an environment that we think is best for them may not be what's best for them. Nevertheless, things are unraveling. Yes, indeed, Aaron. Things are unraveling. So much so that GAS girls have been ordered removed. Now, this is my question. Are there more girls in JS? Yes. Are these same girls claiming abuse as well? Yes. Why have their cases not been reviewed and they be ordered removed as well? Why only these two? Because they had someone speak up for them? Why not some of the others who were there, like now the only reason I won't call names because these are young girls on the age. I won't call their names. I won't do that. But JS know who I'm talking about. The ones that are there, especially the ones that caught those new charges, especially the one that y'all sent to BlackRock again recently. It is obvious what y'all are trying to do, you know. And yes, I'm not saying that they are all innocent. I am saying y'all are not helping the situation. Y'all are making it worse. I'm beginning to suspect it's done deliberately. As a matter of fact, all fingers point in that direction, man. Yes, Steve, we are our worst enemy. Serious. Serious. But all is not lost because believe it or not, there's folks who are still advocating for some sort of assistance or relief. And by that, what I mean is simply this. There's a women's group in Barbados who have been fighting since they first heard about this matter. Sister Tempu and her crew. And not to mention ex-employees from the said school. They have been going at it over and over. Another timeline for women's group. Now, this women group is Women in Action. That's the name of the group. It's called Women in Action. Not sure if you all ever heard of it, but it's called Women in Action. And it's led by a sister named Temple, who has been, again, at the forefront of this from the time she heard what was going on. She's been advocating for change as well. And they had given the minister an ultimatum back in June, the beginning. Remember, an update. They had requested an update in a couple of days, to which I don't think they never got it. Nothing came from it. So they said, okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Time passed. The date passed. A week passed. 2 weeks passed. And now the group is saying the Women in Action Network has given Minister of Home Affairs Wilfred Abrams 7 days starting today. Today being today being the 1st of July, to make known the findings of last year's investigation into complaints at the Government Industrial School in Barrow, St. Lucie, and the departmental inquiry, which was to be completed on June 15th. Now, what they told about last year, remember last year when the whole thing came back up with the young girl in the cell naked and stuff? Guess what? He said he's going to investigate all complaints and present a report. But guess what? Spokesperson for the group, Temple Nafartari, speaking at a press conference yesterday at the Praise Dance Academy, Comarock, St. Michael, said the time for promises had long passed. In June of 2021, in addressing those allegations of abuse by the girls at JS, the minister is reported as saying that every single complaint on record will be investigated fully. Now, guess what? Although he said this then, it's been a year since then and nothing. So what the Women in Action is asking for, this, he said he's going to prepare a report and make report to the public. Minister, can we have that report first before you give us the findings for this investigation you did recently? But guess what? They're asking for the report from last year's inquiry. Guess what? He came back and said he found nothing wrong. Remember? So I'm not sure if they realize that. But he came out and said, based on the evidence we found nothing wrong with GIS and what's going on at the GIS. Now, as far as if he had that in writing, I agree. He should make that public, put all that information out to the public, the findings in writing. But the reality is, he's 2 weeks behind with the investigation for this occasion. Why? Because the minister does what he does best, nothing. And nothing from nothing leaves less nothing. Less nothing. Oh man, this is crazy. You cannot make this up. So although there's a small victory, it's still an uphill battle. Because if this judge now, like Marsha said, it opens up case law now for others to follow. Why should we have to have case law for others to follow? If we recognize, if the government recognize and have already indicated since 2016 when they signed on to that agreement that there were issues up there, since UNICEF outlined there were issues up there, why do we have to have case law to free all children from an institution that clearly has issues that have been known for decades and no one is doing anything? At this point, it means that all the staff at the government industrial school should be terminated effectively. All, even the ones who right now behind the scene may be trying to help. And someone said you can't do that because, if not for staff there, you wouldn't know this stuff going on. Yes, that may be true. But the time has long passed for amnesty. Because if the staff at this point, since this hit the fan last year with a young lady in the cell without any clothing and everything else has happened since then till now, there has been ample time for people to say, you see me, I done with that because it's out now. It's no longer a secret. It's out. And if the staff who are there would come forward and just speak freely and truthfully, this would have been resolved ever since. Maybe we'll not be in court all now. Every day those young ladies are there is a threat, but it's a good distraction, quite frankly. I'm beginning to realize that they're using this as a perfect distraction because they clearly don't intend on doing nothing about it. But what are we going to do, family? Sit back and keep watching? Government industrial school. We're going to just sit back and keep watching. Sit back and keep watching. Well, Steve said the staff are criminals. Oh, man. Some Bajans, not all. The ones, Bajans is like they're caught between headlights, too afraid, soak up, but in the background and grovel. Well, perhaps there's a difference between a Bajan and a Barbadian. Let's make that distinction clear. Yes, Amara, I see you. Hail up, brethren. Well, guess what, family? At this point, like I said, it's clear. It's clear. It's clear. I mean, like I said, man, this right here, and I got to go back to it briefly. This right here is serious. It's serious and should be taken very serious. Very, very serious. Girls order removed. Judges' ruling seen as significant victory for other wards. This is my point. Why should you have to go through this? Why? Well, it's case law. Okay. So that means now that the families of these young ladies should sue, just like the Montleys. They should sue the Montley. But then again, who's going to argue that? The same magistrate that didn't find no fault in the first place? You see, the system you're dealing with is exposing itself, family. The system that they believe in. Look at it here. Look, hold on. Let me zoom in on it. Let me just zoom in on it. Hang on a second. Let me zoom in on it. Judges' ruling seen as significant victory for other wards. So what did the judge say? Don't the judge got to give a printout of his findings? I can't wait to read it. You definitely know y'all going to get that on Monday. Without question, that should be up posted. See what the judge really had to say in detail. in detail. Because I'm telling you, family, rather than the Motleys, Sony Motleys for the Motley's sake, the whole Motley crew, then guess what? They need to hold this. But wait a minute. Let me ask a question though. What about the allegations of abuse? The girls are ordered removed. Why did the judge order them to be removed? Did he recognize that these allegations have merit? And if so, what next? Does the prosecutor pick up the case and investigate? Does the judge order an investigation into this particular case with the two young ladies and their allegations of abuse? Hence, they left and wanted to be free from the GIS, because the whole idea of leaving GIS was predicated on abuse being present and taking place. So how could a judge order them removed and not recognize there's a case for an investigation? Some staff members should certainly be in handcuffs at best at this point. What about the principal that had the court order? What about that case? My honor. Did you find fault in that case as well? Did you order an investigation into the allegations of abuse? Is there allegations of sexual misconduct? And if so, what next? So yes, it's a significant victory for the other wards. Yes, other parents could go and beg the court to release their children after they've been sentenced to this hellhole. What about the abuse and the abusers? Is there any relief for them? Any? Now, for the first time tonight, well, not for the first time tonight, for the first time, I would like to say this, man. I think that when we get this judge ruling and he outlines why he released them, if he failed to acknowledge the abuse but simply release them, you know this is a setup. You know it's a setup. So I don't know what his finding, why he chose to release the girls, ordered them to be removed. But I didn't hear no investigation being ordered into the allegations of why they were removed in the first place. I think that's a good question. If I'm wrong, correct me. Greetings, family. I see you. They can't hide nothing from the people no more. Serious. Peter Wayne Seeley. Greetings, brother. Blessed good night to you too. Welcome to Politically Incorrect. I don't remember seeing your name before. Not that you wasn't here before, but I just acknowledge and know that I recognize it. Checking the comments. Beijing mean broken. Serious, serious. Well, guess what, family? We're not even going to split hairs on this. What we're going to do is this, though. We're going to recognize what we need to do as a nation of people. We have been divided by doctrine, dogmas, like Steve like to put it, a lot of political parties that we don't even get invited to because of classism. But this right here is a victory, family. Not just on the surface, but at the fact that the system is resetting itself, which means that what it is can no longer be. What it will become, well, that's another story. Speaking of story and what it will become, if one more person tell me I have to get this new ID card, I'm telling you, you're going to get it. You know, because recognize this, family, democracy, this whole idea about democracy in Barbados, I'm using Barbados because we live in Barbados. So don't let me start getting international. But democracy, we have been told a lie. It's a lie. It's not democracy. You got 51% majority, 49% the minority. And because the 51% won the election, what you're telling me, the 49 got to now suffer and endure that they oppose everything the others said because this is how it's supposed to be? No. Why can't we have two separate states? You doing your thing, we doing our thing. It's that simple. Why not? Think about it for a second. You have a United States embassy here that does their thing in Barbados and don't get in the affairs of the government. They don't even meddle with it. They do their own thing separately. You got the Canadian High Commission. You got the British Consulate. You got all kind of stuff. The British High Commission, sorry, the Canadian Consulate. You got the Venezuelan. So what I'm saying is you got the Chinese embassy. My point is there are sovereign nation states occupying territory in Barbados who don't infringe and interfere with the corporate Barbados police muscle strong arm gang. Because that's all it is. It's a gang. They call it politics. It's a gang. They tell you what to do and you do it. If you don't do it, they call in the muscle to muscle on you. Why? Because you don't have no muscle response. You see, America has muscle response, so they can't go there and do that. China has muscle response. They cannot go there and definitely won't be doing that. The British, well, come on. Not even thinking about it. But you, though, you ain't got no muscle response. So we could do as we please. We could tase little girls. We could beat upon women, pregnant and all. We could do all this stuff. And there ain't nothing you could do about it. That's a dictatorship, family, under the guise of democracy. Facts. Democracy means demon rule. Well, go look it up, family. I mean, Steve dropping it. Well, Steve, I won't necessarily say that. I won't necessarily say that. They don't have to do that. I mean, they could. But understand the science, family. The ID card. They said that this new thing. Here's another thing: the license plate and the registration. We have these RFID readers. These scanners are RFID readers. They can read your car when you zoom by at 80 miles an hour, and they could tell you whether your car is registered or your car is not registered. Well, guess what? If they could read your car registering, zooming past, can they not also read your ID card that also has the same FRID technology? They never said that, though. They never said it has the capacity to do so. They never even suggested that your ID will or can be scanned by these same scanners. You could be on a bus with 50 people. They'll know exactly who's on the bus. Why is your government trying to spy on you? That's what it is. They're spying on you. Why is your government spying on you? Why is the government of Barbados installing spy technology secretly on top of that? These are questions you need to answer yourself, family. Why? It's okay to say, well, but if you don't know why, then what is the end game? What is the end game? Are you aware that there's even an end game? Do you support the end game? Is there alternate to the end game? Yes. Tune into Politically Incorrect Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 p.m. Although we start a little late tonight for a number of reasons. Like I said, I was in the field. It wasn't a computer glitch tonight. I can admit I was out, came in a little late. And like I said, man, I was between the sister and the other sister situation. They go on KGB. A small country at that. What is all the spying about? You know what the spying is about? They know what is coming. Right now, the whole reset is because everything has been completed. They got to reset the whole program. You have to submit to my rule, or else you have to rule yourself. But they're not going to tell you that you're at the point where you can now govern yourself. Because if you fail to get the new ID, like they said, it isn't mandatory. This is the same gimmick, like I said before, they did with the vaccine. It wasn't mandatory, but yet in order to do things, you're going to need it. All those government workers, again, the NSI and all these other checks and all that stuff, that money will be transferred to your ID card. So if you don't have the ID card, you can't access your money. Right now in Barbados, family, the banks, right? Let me go a little deeper. Yo, dig in a minute, man. Dig in for a minute. And y'all went to the banks recently or the credit union recently? Recent. Yeah. Have you been paying attention in the banks and credit unions recently? Have y'all noticed something a little different in the banks and credit unions recently? I ain't gonna say it yet. Let me see if anybody paying attention. If you've been to a bank recently or credit union recently, I mean within the last few months, especially recently, have you noticed anything different? Let me see people paying attention, man. This is pop quiz. This is pop quiz time. Come. Let me see. Anybody paying attention? Let me see right now. Shout out to the elder and Yaramin. Good night, family. Blessed love. The brother that's finished the program. Big up to the elder Bishai from Yaramin. Okay, wait. I got to definitely give a shout out to the sister Andrea. Andrea, the elder, sending you a message right now. I just letting you know. He said, big up to the entire family and thanks again for the great gift you sent me. Yes, the gift didn't come from me. It came from a certain sister, and she's on here. I can see her. If she chooses to acknowledge herself, that's on her. If not, I will link you privately about that. But yeah, sister, the elder said thanks for the sacred gift. You know, I have mine, and now the elder has his. So yeah, we rolling. This way they can't stop us, man. We rolling. Give thanks. Somebody paying attention. Somebody paying attention. Problems getting your money. Yes, Andrea, it's true. But what I noticed, Ricardo done hit the nail on the head. The staff in the bank and credit union disappearing. Check it out. You pass the credit union in Broad Street. That line just be all around the corner all day, almost every day. You go inside the credit union, you see like, wait, one or maybe two people working the tellers. Like, wait, that's crazy. Maybe three, maybe. You go in the banks now. I've been in some banks, I see two tellers in a whole bank. I mean, a huge building, only two people working. Like, wait, what going on? And from my understanding, what I've been told, that is the norm now. And it's about to get worse. As a matter of fact, there is no, how should I say? There's no intention, is the right word. There's no intention of replacing them. So wait a minute. If the banks, some banks have closed down some branches and all, and consolidated, and from within that, some staff is still going home. So if the banks closing down, consolidating, and getting short staff, and short staff, and short staff, then what exactly happening in the bank? Where this going, family? Are you asking for a friend? Are you asking for a friend, family? Our emotion said digital technology is about to take effect. Maria said, I've seen that in more than one place. They don't need staff in a cashless society. Facts. Facts. Facts, man. So we see where this is going. We know where this is going. So the question is, are we going with it? Now, I don't want to get religious, but like I said, the Bible said, come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people. But no. I want to show you all a video that y'all might find interesting. That's to show you all how serious this thing is, right? Let me share this video. Just to show you how serious this thing is. You can't make this stuff up. Now we have the whole world right now looking at North America, right? Now, wait a minute. Yeah, let me go ahead. Make sure the volume up good and good and good and good and good and good. I want y'all to pay attention to this video right here. I recognize this is who's supposed to be leading North America, whether he's a clone, a cyborg, whatever, whether he's old and dementia. We need to understand that these leaders we see aren't who running the program. And if America, big old America, is affected and influenced by such a reality, what y'all think about little small Barbados that depends almost entirely now on America? Check this video out, family. Give me your thoughts.
Well, the US president has been absolutely blasted online for using another cheat sheet. Biden has copped criticism for most of his presidency for the way that he handles public events. He's either mumbling or fumbling, fails to take questions from reporters, and in some instances mixes up his own policies. His team's hand-holding has been described like a lack of faith and confidence because they seem to provide him with a lot of cushioning, especially when they usher the media out of the room before a reporter gets one question out of their mouths. Joe Biden was speaking at a meeting on federal state offshore wind implementation partnership when he accidentally flashed the card. It had a...
Hold on. He accidentally flashed the card. Now, wait, hold on. I want y'all to get this. This guy accidentally flashed the card. Check this out, family. I want y'all to check this out. Pay close attention to what is about to happen. In case y'all have not seen this video, this is a few days ago. Check this out, family.
Few very specific dot points for the president to follow. You enter the Roosevelt room and you say hello to participants. You take your seat. You give brief comments for 2 minutes. Press depart. You ask Liz Schuler a question. You thank participants and you leave. A very detailed cheat sheet for the president to follow there. Take a look at the moment that Biden flashed the cheat sheet while speaking.
Check this out, family. Check this out.
These states that say may and they then say shall. If you have to say you shall give, you shall do A, B, C, they're the ones that are going to have problems. But most say may. I mean, may, and I got it reversed, may and shall. And so
today wasn't the first time the president had used the cheat sheet. In November last year, he was caught out with a list of names and photos of journalists to help him answer questions from the media at the G20 summit in Rome.
and now I'm happy to take some questions, and I'm told I should start with AP Zeke Miller. Zeke, you have a question?
Now, imagine you told which reporter to call and which questions to answer and which questions to answer. And guess what? We already know this is what goes on. Like, we know. But does that happen here in BIM? You bet your bottom dollar. All I'm saying is that, you know, the elder always said, when you see a man fall, you don't laugh, you learn. You see a man fall, you don't laugh, you learn. When you see a nation start to implode, you don't laugh, you learn. Family, we got to take a serious look at this thing here, man. Because like I said, if COVID didn't teach us anything, it taught us that we cannot, as a nation, allow these people to lead us down a path that solely depends on tourism and whatever else they're doing. Whatever else they're doing and the debt, all that stuff they're incurring, they want to pass. They're incurring debt, stealing the money, then passing the bill on to you and your children and our children's children. Nah. To sit back and watch that is ludicrous. Even if you're getting $1 from that table, no. Why would you sell your children's future out? We got to stop this. Let them do what they're doing. Whatever they're doing, let them do. Because these are the people they're following. And clearly this man ain't got a clue what he's doing.
Didn't recognize you the mask on. I apologize.
In June last year in Geneva, the same thing happened. The president told the media, as per usual, he had been given a list of people he was allowed to call on for questions. It happened again in August, right before the botched withdrawal of troops out of Afghanistan, where he used a pre-approved list to start his press conference. The president's critics took to social media to call him out for it today. Benny Johnson said, next time someone tries to tell you Joe Biden isn't a geriatric nursing home patient trapped in the White House, show them this.
Imagine that. They call this man a geriatric oh man. Patient trapped in a White House. It's crazy. Look, the card even told him, he even had to get instructions in order to take a seat. He was even told when to take a seat.
He needs a note card with step-by-step directions telling him what to do, including you take your seat. This is beyond embarrassing. Alison Royal wrote, this needs to be a history-making news story, but you'd be surprised how quickly we'll move on from this.
Facts.
Another person wrote, the President of the United States needs a cheat sheet instructing him how to enter a room. If this was Trump, all of the media would make this 24/7 news and demand a cognitive test until he took one. He did take one and passed with flying colours. Make Biden take one now.
Yeah, well, make Biden take one now may not work. And we know why. Seriously. So unfortunate, but this is where our leaders seem to get an affiliate as if they're impressing us with this stuff when it's all a fear tactic, behind the scene manipulation, strategy, implementation, all kind of stuff happening, and we still don't got a clue. America has fallen, just a matter of time before all hell breaks loose. Well, who knows that already. All these nations fall. I mean, they all do, and they don't fall outside, they fall from within. You know, the corruption and all the other stuff that goes on. I mean, it's just inevitable. America will not escape that wrath. You can bet that. Speaking of wrath and speaking of escape, unfortunately, we can't allow this one to escape because it took a whole year and change of consistent agitation on my part, Marcia Weeks. Shout out to Marcia Weeks, by the way, and other individuals, Marsha Hines as well, and some other individuals about the JS situation. Took us a while to get some sort of response from our prime servant. Took us a while, not a word, even though still nothing, still nothing. But guess what? A simple articles early in the week that alluded to the preposterous madness of $1 billion of IMF money needed to pay back by 2029. And our prime servant, despite not being well and not being in Barbados, according to rumors, not that I didn't tell you all that, but anyhow, according to rumors, found it fit to speak out against that. But wait a minute. All right, so you saying that the whole $1 debt, all right, whatever you're saying, because I really couldn't care less what you're saying. What I want to bring a point to is that why you jumped out there and spoke on this so quickly and easily. What happened to the JS situation, madam? The women and the children, the mothers that go hold the belly when they hear the children missing and the boy can't find them. What going on, family? What going on? Why is it you have nothing to say with regards to the women in Barbados going through their challenges, having issues, children having issues, and the most you could do is offer a little 2-minute clip, 3-minute clip on brass tacks that was ad hoc at best. But yet you can have a clear-cut conversation about this money and explain everything. You know why? You know, I find this picture quite interesting, though. Quite interesting. Nevertheless, I like it. Rise of the people. The system has failed us, but God never failed us. Family, this is the time where we need this return to our divine creator. Return to your divine creator. Auntie, safeguarding her retirement, no comment. We know, family, we got to pay attention to these things, man. We can't keep turning a blind eye. We can't keep doing that. That we cannot do. We have to pay attention. We have to pay attention. I mean, that's just how I'm seeing it, man. We have to pay attention. And that's the reality. I just remember something. Give me a second. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. Man, look. Love of money instead of love of lives. Her arrogance seemed no importance in the JS because there is no money involved. She doesn't like to be questioned when it comes to money. Well, Well, not a word on GIS. As a woman, not a word. But you know what? Who am I to say? Really, maybe she's pushing Wilfred do the best he can, and she's motivated him, as best she can. But that's what's going on. And speaking of going on, though, speaking of going and speaking of ons, there's one other thing going on that I think needs our immediate attention, without question. And did y'all notice that the what do you call it? The I want to find the names. I'm looking for the names. What is it? Constitution Reform Committee. Is that what it's called? I not seen the article. I had it earlier, but for some reason, not. Oh, wait a minute. Is it? No, that's not it. I was looking for it. I'm not seeing it now. But I saw it earlier advertised. I'm trying to make it pull it up. Not seeing it. The Constitutional Reform Committee. The review committee. Wait, no, that's not what I want. Here we go. Is this it? Yeah, they were sworn in. I mean, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Let me just put this on share screen. Did y'all see this? Y'all might have seen this one as well. Let me ask y'all a question. Honestly speaking, what do y'all see when y'all see this? Because what I see is friends getting jobs, more friends getting jobs, and more friends getting jobs. Bring 1 or 2 persons in, make it look good, represent a cross section of the society, seemingly so. But the reality is, that is none of our business, quite frankly. I hope y'all paying attention, man. Like, I can't say this. Members of the Constitution Review Commission sworn in. Pure distractions. They already have a constitution here. It was already handed to them. All they're going to do is go in a room, sit down. Someone going to come in with some papers. They're going to put it on the desk, ask them to review this, what their thoughts are. They're going to say this, that, 34. They might write some notes down and they come back and blah, blah, blah. But the overall integrity of the whole Constitution has been already outlined. You just add a word or two to make it seem that you had an input, a viable input. But believe you me, it's already outlined. The same way that they could jump the gun has been already locked and loaded, man. Hence the ID cards, all that stuff is all part of it. All that is part of it. They need your birth certificates to make this thing work. So you got to get your ID card. So all those who bring their ID cards and submit all that, those are who will most likely be affiliated with that constitution. Not potentially as owners in, but affecting those. Because that constitution does not apply to the United States Embassy. No, none of the other names I called previously. Because why? They are sovereign. So the only question you should be asking right now, family, is what is sovereign and how do, 2 questions. What is it and how do I attain it? Should be what you're asking so that you are not a slave to this system. Back to slavery with the ID card. I heard it was on Brass Tack, so they're talking about stuff. That easy, family. Check it out right here. Look. Check it out right here. The brother want to know how to contact me personally. Well, you can check this WhatsApp number out. Area code 246. Number is 838-8253. You don't get me, you'll definitely get an admin response for sure. And they'll link me somehow. We can contact from there. The program is on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for those now tuning in. Usually at 8 o'clock. We try to get that as well. Sometimes we go a little over for different reasons. But if you're patient, we usually on And according to ISIS, if not, we should post something to let people know that we won't be on live. And I totally agree with her. And once we can, I got to add that as well. But to reach us, like I said, the number is, area code is 246, WhatsApp only, 838-8253. Give us a holler. Or if you want to send us an email, you can. You want to support the program, you can. There's a PayPal account. And believe you me, it goes a long way. Everybody keep telling me, yo, that's a lot of work you do. Yeah, and it does cost. It ain't free, only look free, but make it happen if you can. If you want to drop us an email and information, politically.n.correct246@gmail.com. Feel free. So that's the link right there, bro. Speaking of ISIS, look at that. Ta-da! And she appears. I am sovereign just like all of them. But guess what? They sovereign just like all of us. Because we indigenous, we here before them. They're the corporation. They now come and find us. And family, on a serious note, we got to have that conversation and speak that language. We got to speak that language. It's important that we speak that language, because not speaking that language is why they keep doing what they're doing. Over the last few weeks, a month, you recognize that our solidarity, our commitment consciously is what's causing a lot of what we see happening to happen on a positive level in our favor. So this is not the time to retreat. It's time to move forward. Don't mind the distractions. Come for your ID card and this stuff. They can have that. And whoever wants it, free to go get it. The problem is my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. The only advantage they have on you is that you do not have the knowledge. And the reason you don't have the knowledge is because the pastors have been lying to you. That's according to the Bible. Since that's the book you Christians subscribe to and hold so dear. Then why you not listening to the pages, man? It's outlining it clear as day. Blessings to you too, Jillian. Oh, Sister White's in the building. Look at that. It's good to see you too, sis. I ain't see you in a minute. Blessings to you and the family. Kingdom builders, man. That's what we're talking about. It's good to see you, for sure, for sure. But I know you'll be preaching the word on your platform, your people, about this, all that's going on. And the thing is, we got to connect. There's a lot of people connecting. There's so many things connecting. Shout out to, what's the brother name, man? What's the brother name? Michael. Brother Michael at Zion House. Zion House, the temple, is off Haggett Hall by the Normanells roundabout. They usually meet on Sabbaths, which is, well, tomorrow at 11 a.m. If I'm incorrect, hopefully somebody could correct me. But the Jewish temple, not the Jewish temple, that's not the word. The Hebrew Israelite temple is there by Normanells roundabout. If you're heading towards Haggett Hall, Sky Mall, at Normanells, it's the left, and it's the third building on the right, the white temple. You can't miss it. And they have service. And I implore all y'all who get a chance to go check it out. Even the Christians, go check it out, because as Christians, you say you favor Christ, your Savior, who is a Hebrew. Then go see the teachings and recognize if there's a relationship, and maybe you can build that and go forward. So go check out House of Israel right there by Normanells roundabout. And it's good when brothers and sisters can dwell and fellowship together. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers to reason. Brothers and sisters, dwell and reason, man. Let's have a dialogue, Have a dialogue. False education destroy the nation, mashing up the boys and girls. Cheese on bread. Serious. Big tune, man. Big tune. They said the plastic ID card is legal. The digital ID card is illegal. That one deep. Deep. Because both of them mean the same thing, quite frankly. like guilty and not guilty. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty? You can never prove you're not guilty. You can prove your innocence in court. You can't prove you're not guilty. I mean, this is how they trap us with these words, family. These words. Let the words of our mouth, meditation of our heart. You got to have this stuff within you, family. You got to know this thing from a spiritual perspective. You got to have that relationship with God and have that revelations come to you so that when you open your mouth and speak, it's like a two-edged sword. And ain't nobody coming around, because the word song is the power. And we gotta speak that truth accordingly, man. So, but a lot of stuff is happening, family, and this whole constitution stuff, like I said, we dealing with the kingdom. The kingdom is not governed by man, it's governed by divine order. And therefore, man in his wickedness can never conceive the principles of God and what's in the mind of God. And that's who we following, full stop. And in no apology, we say that. We say that. So, no, them new cars can tell the time of day you pass here. It might very well be, but like I said, people, those scanners are only place that scan your car. I am certain the technology can scan your card. It's all spy technology, family. And if the banks are closing, then your money gonna be tied to your card, and we already know that. And what I'm saying is that don't get caught out there, family. Don't get caught. Start to enlighten yourself. The key is to keep elevating yourself or keep educating yourself. You got to be aware. You're destroyed for lack of knowledge. So in order not to be destroyed, you got to increase your knowledge. You got to know the ledge you're on. You got to know the ledge. You got to know it. You got to know it. So their time is up. They ain't got to worry about me. They got bigger fish gunning for them. Trust when I tell you. Trust when I tell you. And that's why I tell you, Mia's opening the doors to Rastafari. I don't have no problem with what she is doing. None. Because at some point she has to stop. Well, let me phrase that. The universe will stop her. Remember, I keep saying, Pharaoh didn't say no. God hardened his heart and he said no. He ain't had a choice but to say no. So he had to be the enemy. He had to be the one against. See, energy needs something to push against to propel it forward. You look at a plane flying, it needs something to push against to propel it forward. A wind, a sail, when the wind blows, it needs a sail to push against that velocity to move the vessel forward. Barbados, as a sovereign nation, needs a sail to push against the system to propel us forward. If she wasn't present herself as a sail, we can push against it and propel ourselves forward. So we give thanks for the works. Keep up the marvelous works you're doing. Keep it up. Divine order run earth, man. Righteousness and divine order is what run and governs earth, not man. I don't care how you splice it. Your compass and your square is crooked. And there ain't nothing you could do about that but set it straight. And if you fail to set it straight, that's okay. The divine architect will organize it. The architect is back. Serious. Fire upon a wicked man, lava. But now, family, we up there, family. We up there, man. And let me. Isis said it best. No L ledge. No L ledge. The sacred name for God in the Bible, which is funny because the sacred name for God in the Bible isn't God. It's not even Yahweh, believe it or not. It's L. That's the first thing we are taught in Genesis. But the gods, man, the L's. Anyhow, family, that's another conversation. We get that on Sunday school. Right now, like being tagged like animals. Animals were the first place they tested these chips on. If you were wealthy, you had one of those expensive poodles that was pedigree, and you didn't want nobody to steal it or wander off. They would put these chips in it so that you could track your dog anywhere your dog goes. Well, that was just the test. Yes, the Elohim. The only problem with this word, though, is that Christians got it wrong. And by that, I mean most Christians I've spoken to, they'll say that God is Elohim. But the truth is, no, the word Elohim is Hebrew, yes, but Elohim is not singular, it's plural. So anytime you use the word Elohim, what you're in essence saying is the gods. You're not saying the God Elohim. The word Elohim is not a singular word. El is the singular word. Elohim is plural, meaning multiple. So it's multiple L's. So the word Elohim in Bible, when you see the word, Bible says the Elohim, we interpret it, well, we were told it meant God. The truth is, nah, it don't mean God. It means the gods or the judges or the rulers of this earth, those that judge the earth. In Psalms 82, when God said, and he visited among the gods, he visited the Elohims, the gods, the magistrates, the judges of this earth, divine judges that bring order, compass and square order from above, not below, not below above, above below. Divine entity, gods. We took this into a whole different conversation, but it's relevant, and I'll tell you why it's relevant. Because unless we know who we are, when we can't do our divine work, because who we are is connected like an umbilical cord to our divine work or divine purpose. That's why we find ourselves here tonight on this live. That's why some people have been here from day one, and have never missed an episode. Never. Because it's a divine reason and a divine calling, and something about it resonates with your soul. So we know why we're here, family, and we are confident in the victory of good over evil, because that's why we're here. So it doesn't matter what they do. What matters is what we do. And what we do is we're going to keep doing it. It's to raise our vibrations, raise our frequency, and change our thinking and change what's going on around us. Like the Christians would say, let the mind of Christ be in you. And Christ is Christ consciousness. Christ didn't have any doubts. He did miracles. He did all kinds of stuff. He even said that greater work than what I did, you could do. So if you have just the mind of Christ, you could do greater works. So there's no reason why you can't change the system the way it is. You have the ability to do so. If you don't want to do so, then that's another conversation. The question is, what are you going to do? So don't get there and tell me, well, he's a Christian and he's Rasta, and this guy is Muslim, and Phil is a Jew. He's a Hebrew, so I can't, I can't talk to them people and this and this and this is this and that and this and third. We ain't dealing with the division. Division is of the devil. Anybody who seeks to divide you is of the devil. But know one thing: oil and water does not mix. Eagles don't fly with crows. It's just some things is just natural order. We're here to restore natural order, because quite frankly, this is bare chaos in the land, but chaos will always usher in order. Always. Having said that, I will say this. This guy right here. Let me put this up. Let me put this up for a second before I go. I want y'all to really look at this again, and I want y'all to really. I'm gonna post this too. I want y'all to read this one. Read this one. These cats cease to amaze me, man. Cease to amaze me. I mean, you ever went to a pantomime? It's called a pantomime. A pantomime? Is that the word? Pantomime? Pantomime? I think that's the word, right? What is a pantomime? Tell me, somebody. Let me see the comments here, man. What is it? What's somebody help me here, man? Let me come on, say correct. Blessings, family. Blessings to you too, family. Sonny said correct. A play, right? The word is pantomime. This is a pantomime, family. I can't call it no other name but what it is. It's a pantomime. Clearly, these cats are all actors. They are acting. I mean, I don't even know how he gets so white. Like, I don't even remember him being so white. You remember this guy being so white? He looking like a Caribbean Santa Claus out of season. I'm just saying because his hair is all white, even on top of his head. Like, anyhow, this is a pantomime. I mean, sworn in. More checks getting out. That's all. All I'm hearing is cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. That's all I'm hearing is cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Diane said, I find it interesting that all of us believe in God, but all of us remain divided. Crazy, 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 family. By the renewing of the mind, family, by the renewing of the mind, it is time to get our minds right, family. Everyone have their divine appointment to wake up. In the meantime, we ain't got to run around screaming, wake up. Let us build it and they shall come. Let us focus on what we have to build as a legacy for our children and our children's children. Let us focus on getting ourselves balanced. Now, someone said to me recently, this thing about balance, you got to pick a side. What do you mean by that? You got to choose a side. The balance is that you straddling the fence. No, not exactly. What do you mean? God said I create good, I create evil, I create them both. So when you say about balance, what do you mean? The light comes out of the darkness. You can't have light without the darkness. You can't. Balance refers to recognizing what is your driving force, what motivates you in life, what compels you. And for some people, perhaps as a journey, that might be their reality. And for others, it's a mission. They came here to fulfill divine prophecy. So, it ain't gonna be the same conversations we having. Like the bee can't explain to the fly why honey is better than shit, which is funny because honey is regurgitation. I'm just saying, vomit. But we could debate that all we like. The reality is everything has its purpose, has its reason, in its season. Fulfill yours, family. Just fulfill yours. Just fulfill yours. Having said that, though, um, looking for a tune, particular tune. Yeah, I found it, man. But yeah, family, give thanks. Honey is bee vomit. Yeah, that's why I said, family. I don't know. The bee can explain why vomit is better than shit. It's a bit of a conundrum if you ask me. But hey, you know, they're trapped here. Nobody wants them. Well, Sister A on the rail, like, let me not even focus on if they are trapped or not trapped. That's because if you're gonna look at this from an intergalactical level, let me put it that way. Everything in the universe has its purpose. Everything. So let us find ours and fulfill our divine order, our divine agenda, our divine mission. Let's fulfill that so that the words of our mouth and meditation of our heart can be acceptable in the realms of the universe. The universe is so, can you fathom the capacity of that which create all of it and still found the time to create you? You look at the universe as one vastness, one huge, massive, vast. You look up vast, regardless if we living on a flat earth in a dome or it's all expansion. The reality is you are here. The reality is you are here. But you're only here consciously in your mind. You're not here outside of yourself. Everything happens in your life happens in your mind. Hence, by the renewing of the mind. It's all in the mind. The mind connects to the body that allows you to function in this realm, what we call earth, in this solid third dimension. But the reality is you are nothing more than just a thought. You're just a thought. And what connects you with this body is the breath that you breathe that stimulates the mind to allow neurons to go off like an engine and spark electricity to sustain and connect and send out the energy to the body to function. Because we call it air that we breathe, but it's prana, it's electricity. That's why there's a thing called Wi-Fi. You are literally sending an electronic signal through the ear because air is a conductor of electricity. So when you breathe in, what you're breathing, you call it air, oxygen. You're breathing electricity, electrons. You're breathing in electrons. Electricity is what causes you to function. You function off of electricity. Some of us has a few more watts than others, though. Don't go playing around because you might see the charger look the same, but the amps and the watts are not. Just like a light bulb. All light bulbs pretty much look the same, but the watts and the amps not the same. Don't go playing around the wrong amp. Get electrocuted. You know what I mean? Serious mystery. I love it, Isis. As a matter of fact, it's so ironic because we wasn't discussing that tonight, but I see Isis peep the book in the corner. It's a serious mystery. Isis, you ain't easy at all, though. You ain't easy. He said, don't start, Emmanuel. People don't even understand that we are electric beings. That's not true. Because the Bible tells you it best. The Bible said that God formed man out the soil. So man is only formation of soil. This is for the Christians who approach it from that perspective. But then God breathed breath into man, which the breath is air. So God gave man a jump start. Like, you know, when your car battery dead and you turn the key and nothing, it just dead. Just a bunch of metal and bolts and rubber and paint and just nothing. But if you give it a boost, if you give it a jump start with a battery, it comes alive. And once it come alive, it can move and do things. Well, it's the same thing. God gave man a boost, a jump start, and brought him to life with electricity. And man is an electric being. So when these people start doing these different rituals and stuff, have these fets and Karpova and Keduman, they're trying to harness your energy in one place so they could do something else with it. But we ain't ready for that conversation yet, though. That might fry some people's brain tonight. And I ain't, that ain't direction I going in, though. Not tonight, but we could discuss it some other night. In the meantime, though, like we said, condolences to the sister, Elaine, and her family. More strength to you. Also to the sister and the young ladies who were, released. Well, removed. The wording was removed from JS. But removed is not release. We trust that we can continue working on your situation to get you the relief that's necessary. We will not let you down. We will not let you down, man. Remember that. More love, family. Love and light, family. All day, every day, family.
Only Rasta can liberate the people. Over hills and valleys, so don't let them fool you. Don't believe for a minute that they are with you. Shall free the people.
Yeah.
Over hills and valleys, so
over the hills and valleys.
don't
let them fool you, family. Don't believe them, family. Don't believe them for a second. They don't like you. They don't like me. They don't like you or me. But Christ said, right? But Christ said in the book, I don't remember which book in the Bible, but he said, look, man, if they don't like you, know that they didn't like me first.
Over hills and valleys, so don't let them fool you. Don't think for a minute that they are with you. Shall free the people. Over hills and valleys, so don't let them fool you. Don't be here for a minute, they don't like you. Why try to make I am happy? Really, I don't know. If it was up to them, my friend, we would never see the sun or the snow. Through that mystical communication within, we keep on coming together. I love to see brothers and sisters looking out for one another. That's the way it should be, not contrary. Stop tearing down each other.
Holy Rasta bring the people.
Over hills and valleys soon. Don't let them fool you. Don't believe 1 minute that they are with you. Shall free the people.
Time to free the people, family.
Over hills and valleys soon.
Time to free the people, family.
Fool you. Don't believe 1 minute that they are with you. I thought they do. You just be able to.
Yes, family.
Much different from ignorance, and I know you feel the same way too. Maybe live this life without having a clue. No reason why they are so sad and blue. Blessings to go, so much things to do. Not a moment to reflect on the cycle of life. Yeah.
Jeez, right, family. It's a job free the people, family. You know why job free the people? Because if Jah don't free the people, what gonna happen? What gonna happen if Jah don't free the people, family? Make it your mind, family. Jackie, this tune for you, family. Much love, family. Pure energy, family.
Once you're in, you gotta take it. Make your mind up, start and face it, because
warriors don't cry. Jeez, brother. So warriors don't cry at all, at all, at all, at all. You know why warriors don't cry? I can tell you why warriors don't cry, man. Show it to Armageddon, man. Show it to Armageddon, man. Shout out to Armageddon. Armageddon.
Once you're in, you gotta take it.
Yeah.
Take your mind upside and face it, because warriors don't cry. I know lots of folks will hate you, and not because they want you, but sometimes
they don't even know why.
So don't watch the crowd. The duty is to be loud.
Believe.
What you're doing and feel proud.
Believe in what you're doing, family. People will have enough to say, man. They don't really care if you make it through the day. They don't really care at all. It's only to them things here. People don't really care at all, man. They don't really care at all, man. But that's all right. The Almighty cares, family. The Almighty cares. Give thanks and praise to the Most High always for the time you rise in the morning, family. We shall never want, family. Never want. Pastures always green here. Trickling songs, man. Trickling songs, man. I feeling powerful, man. Rastafari. Jeez, oh, brother, gotta pull out for the top, man. Out for Armageddon again, man. Again. I know some folks don't like the session, right? They don't like the music and thing. That's all right. If you stay, thank you, man. Positive vibes, family. Just positive vibes, man. Music is to motivate and inspire, man. Shout out to Sammy Dread.
Making me to lie in green pastures.
Untouchable songs, man.
Leading me beside the still waters. He restored my soul.
Restore for our soul.
He restored my soul.
Here's why, man. Splashing, dashing, Leslie.
Everything you seem to be.
Sometimes.
Sometimes love is though you're there. Splashing, dashing, restless sea.
Restless times, family.
Seem to be. Sometimes angry.
Sometimes angry, sometimes sad.
Sometimes love is though you're glad. Little children love you well. Love all the wondrous tales you tell.
Yeah.
Love to watch it going go.
Love all the way.
Touch the heaven blow.
Listen now.
Yet though I walk through the valley of the shadow of
Though we walk to the valley of the shadow, guess what?
fear,
No evil.
Jah is with me.
Selassie run things.
Thy rod and thy staff
Thy rod, thy staff,
comfort me.
comfort us. Cheese or bread.
Restless sea.
You want to know why they comfort us, man? Let me tell you why they comfort us, man. Let me tell you why, man. Let me tell you why we comforted. Let me tell you why we comforted, man. Guess why we comforted, family? Tea, Dawn Bread. I saw Zion in a vision, man. In a vision. Confidence comes from knowing what God's plan is for your life here. Your confidence comes from knowing what God got in store for you. It's like a family reunion. The wonders of Jah. Zion House tomorrow, family. 11 o'clock service. It's a family reunion, man. 12 tribes of Yisrael. Happiness surrounded by righteousness, man. Yes, family reunion, family. Let me get one more before I go, man. Just gotta get thanks and praise, though. Just thanks and praise, man. Always give thanks and praise, family, at the end of the day, because Sister Elaine, thanks and praise to you and your family for sharing, man. This tune for you, sis. Again, more strength to you and your family on the passing of your husband, sis. Our deepest and heartfelt condolences goes out to you and yours, man. More strength, family. More strength, man. At least the last of the first Empress Reserve Menin. One perfect balance.
My soul has restored and need to walk astray within the love
Of righteousness.
I walk in this dark place, it will I fear no evil. Thy rod and staff, they are with me, they surely comfort me. My Savior, Lord, has goodness in the presence of my Lord.
Yes, my brother.
My head go up with oil, my
goodness and mercy shall follow us. Yes, it's the same system, my brother. My life shall surely follow me, and in Jah house forevermore my dwelling place shall be. Yes, family.
Goodness and mercy all my life shall surely follow me. I'm in Jehovah's forevermore. My dwelling place must be. My soul have restored again. Me to walk those days. We feel the power of life. Just dance, even for His name's sake. Yet do I walk through the dark field, yet will I fear no evil. Thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they surely comfort me. My Savior, I've been in the presence of my foes. My head on high, from home sweet home, my God be